It's been busy for sure. Commissions, teaching prep, and more. Woo! I mentioned being gone a lot more than I wanted in my last couple of videos, but it hurts. It hurts being gone. I feel like I should be making stuff and creating and doing things. It's hurting me. But anyway, how are you all? What did I miss? I hope each of you is doing all right as the school year starts swanging. Keep creating if you do so. Keep seeking hope if you don't so. If whatever that means. Anyway, that got a little off track. You all came here to see furries, so to the furries we shall go. Vatil. I hope, I pray that I am saying this right. It's spelled Vatil. It might be Vatil, it might be volatile, I don't know. I'm gonna call him Vatil, but it's probably not how you say it. This was a commission, he was a commission that I received quite a while ago when I was in the middle of posting My Little Pony redesigns. That is why I did not end up making a video with him in it. This beautiful creature looks like a half panther, half leopard type cat. I don't know what the correct term for it is. Like a merged kitten, over melanated, hyperpigmentation? I don't know. If someone knows the correct name for this condition where it's like a split, please let me know. From what I can remember, I literally wrote volatile in my script. Vatil's owner was not picky at all, of which I am so grateful. A casual pose, his signature suspenders and jeans, and a backwards cap was all I was asked to include, or at least told I could include. I found a leaning pose from the Goog, and I used it as a base to block out the shapes for Vatil's pose. Large foot paws, ripped jeans, and a floofy tail were all part of the vibe that I wanted to preserve, and let me know if I succeeded on that. I didn't want to make his tails too skinny. Please ignore the fact that I totally forgot to fill in one of the legs with the darker fur color until the very end. I'm very organized, I swear. Instead of looking at that mistake, however, you could instead regard these gorgeous jeans. I crave to have such jeans as these. They're just so colors, so perfectly scratched up and stressed. They were by far, just like me, they were by far my favorite part of the commission. I really got to play around with the blending styles and the textures here, so thank you for that, creator, or owner of Vatil. Vatil was my first drawing of a big cat in a long while, and he was really fun. Now I'm gonna move on to the next set. If you'd like to see Vatil's finished result, consider sticking around to the end of the video. Now this adorable commission came with getting to know two very cutesy characters. Meet Minky and Red Stitch, two little friendlies. Now I know I just mentioned Vatil was my first big cat, but poor Minky and Red Stitch were the real subjects I had to break my teeth on. I'd been drawing ponies for so long, or humans, so drawing this pair was quite out of my comfort zone. It was excellent, don't take me wrong. However, it definitely led to me making a couple mistakes with posing, and I took a little longer than I would have liked to render them out, etc. because of how out of practice I was. I'm actually going to take a brief pause here to thank my YouTube members. I Would Rather Read, Need the Fallen Moon Tiger, Carter-Sean Kessler, Silverflash Cloudwing, Cosmic Cadet, Entity X, Artistic Dragon, and Embrace56. I recently had to get rid of my Patreon due to being unable to keep up, and I didn't want to keep having people stay on there in hopes that I would keep posting, so it is gotten rid of. But to those of you on Patreon who did stick with me until the very end, thank you sincerely. I appreciate you. Your presence is a great encouragement, so thanks for being so kind while I was figuring things out and as my production slows down a little. This is unrelated to, kind of, but thank you to all out there still watching and encouraging me. Trust me when I say this community is really cool. You should really think about joining the subscribblers if you haven't yet, just saying, if you're feeling generous. Also, I'm gonna show off some epic fan art too because golly, I've been slacking off like mad. Look at this, and the black people do this, y'all. They draw my little goofy dragon goober and they make her eat. They make her eat. Y'all, seriously, thank you for being so silly and for trying your hand at drawing my extraordinarily complicated, I just realized, girl. Some of my best artworks were actually inspired by people memeing around in the chats, which I appreciate so much despite not really interacting a whole lot recently. Beautiful. No need to consume calorie if I got all this to eat. As much as I want to hover on the fan arts and the thank yous, we must get back to Red Stitch and Minky because they're just too squishy not to. I don't know how much lore their creator would like me to share about Minky and Red Stitch here, but I think it's alright to share a little bit, just a little bit. Red Stitch was made in a lab, and he escapes, in short, and meets Minky. The scene I was commissioned to draw is Minky sort of introducing her new pal to everyday items, things that might seem simple to us but are pretty wondrous to Red Stitch. Minky is fluffy and small, contrasting Red Stitch's lanky, almost canvas-like texture. I got to really learn and experiment with short, fluffy hair, so thank you to their creators who gave me this challenge. Alright, they are nearly done. Look at this little pair, so scrunkly. I really love the concept of a lab-born creature escaping and having to be shown and taught about even the simplest things by just kind of an everyday person. Such a good story idea. Very classic. Alright, you'll see these guys again at the end of the video. It's time to move on to one of the most recent and the most overshot furry in this lineup. The actual second I dropped a video link to my members about commissions reopening, Busy Reading was in my DMs, sliding in, dominant. It was so awesome and hilarious, honestly. The conversation was kind of just, hi, yes, I want something. I'm not sure yet, but put me down for something, my good sir. And I was kind of like, I'm all too happy to, me lord. Yes, as you wish, as you wish. The idea Busy Reading came up with later was equally as hilarious as our conversation. I was to turn their friend into a furry. Classic. The minute I had a reference and a general idea of a pose, I was on. I was like, yeah, it's happening, okay. Later on, Busy approached me with an outfit request and a color palette, and it all worked out pretty well. At first, I was going to do my typical skinny cattail, but then, as you can see, I kind of wondered what would happen if I did a big old bushy tail, and plot twist, it made me take 7 hours, and I'm blaming the tail, and I'm blaming the chains as well. Speaking of the chains, the prompt for this little cat person's outfit was emo and alt, one of my absolute favorite styles to emulate. Problem is, it's a little bit complicated. I had a lot of fun plotting out the belts and the necklaces and drapey things and colors, making emo alt outfits. It really challenges your knowledge of value, shape, language, things like that. Too light, it blends into another article of clothing. Too dark, you can't make it out from the belts and the other patterns. And with the shape language, you kind of have to choose to make one part skinny. Make the jeans skinny, okay, make the shirt bigger. If you make the shirt skinny, make the jeans bigger. Kind of play around with the weight and stuff. I found a pretty good weight here, I think. Also, may I just say, this drawing made me have a massive breakthrough with drawing hair. I've been struggling with hair for a long time, and I thought I'd kind of finally broken through, and I had something that looked pretty good, but I always wondered if it didn't match my style too much. I study Naturix a lot, and she has a beautiful particular style of hair, and I wanted it. I crave that, to make and emulate that style of Naturix's hair with the lines and the simple shading. Like, that is my goal right there. I don't really care for high rendered hair, but that, with the lines and the simplicity, it matches up with my line art and style and weight and things like that. So that's what I wanted, and I think I did it in this one. I think I finally learned how to do it. It's my first go, so it's a little rough, but like, it came out. It doesn't look weird. It doesn't look like the hair is like disappearing in on itself and stuff. I think it was, this commission, I think it might have been worth the 7 hours. The hair is silky and just wonderfully lined. I got so carried away. The fur of the tail really flows. It's on point. I could have done it a little better now that I'm looking at it, but like, that was my first time ever doing something like that. Otherwise, I would have just, usually I just fill in the outline with vaguely fur following shapes with shading and stuff. This time I actually tried to make the lines match on the inside, so yeah. I definitely have things to work on, but I'm really happy with these skills this attempt has blessed me with. You will all be seeing this newfound power in any commission you may beseech of me forthwith. Alright, dang, that was long. Now to show them all off. Here is everyone, from Vatil to Red Stitch and Minky to the silly epicness of a furified friend. Thank you to all of those who commissioned me. You're sharpening my skills, and you're really making me kind of push the boundaries I otherwise would not have. I enjoyed each one of these, and I hope to continue making more. Which, if you're waiting for me, I'm working on it. I swear, I'm working on it. I am. It's just a little busy. I should not have opened commissions right before I needed to start, like, doing teaching things, so it's fine. Out of all these, which one was your favorite? If the creators are out there watching, what most inspired these characters or silly-nilly decisions? Would you want to share anything? If so, consider the comment section your playground. Alright, I must sign off. I want to be more proactive about posting updates and or streaming, but I totally may fall short, and I am sorry about that. I get carried away with things I don't think to stream processes, and yeah, things happen. It just happens. Oh well. Thank you to all who stopped by to see these beauties. Maybe pop the like button with an arrowhead and then shoot the arrow at the subscriber button. That way you can join the crew. That way YouTube knows also that you like my stuff, and they'll draw in even more like-minded artists to take a peek. Alright, until next time, though, may the Lord bless you and keep you.